We are coming to you live from Music City, Tennessee for this SFLm late night action. Tonight, it's the 1-2 Lexington Miners coming into town to face the 2-1 Nashville Tempo. The winner of tonight's contest will face Pittsburgh in the winners semifinal bracket on Monday. Good evening, I'm Cameron Duty, and I am joined by my partner Brandon Walters on the call for tonight's game. Brandon, it is good to be with you, my friend. Welcome to Music City. We're glad to have you along for the ride.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome, Cam. It's a pleasure to be here in Nashville, and I'm really excited to see this game tonight. It's a matchup, a rematch from Week 1. Lexington beat Nashville in Lexington 28-23, but now that we're in Nashville, I want to see if that home field advantage is going to play a bigger part here. Can Nashville get some revenge?
It's going to be great. Obviously, good things to look for in this game. A lot of questions. We'll talk about that as we go on. And as you said, Nashville's only loss of the season came to these very Lexington Miners. As we said, Week 1, a lot has changed in a short amount of time. Nashville really rising to the top, if you will, at the upper echelon of the standings so far. We're going to have a lot of fun. Folks, we thank you so much for being with us. Anything can happen in SFLm action. Buckle up, hang on for the ride. Here's the kickoff. We are underway. The return across the 20 now, darting right side. Across the 30. Still on his feet, run out of bounds rather at the 36-yard line. We will take a look at that Lexington starting lineup real quickly. That was actually C.J. Parrish on the return. Lexington's quarterback, number 17, Chad Moore. The halfback, Deion James, number 25. The wide receivers, Ethan Flowers, number 11. Alexander West, number 13. And C.J. Parrish, we just mentioned him, number 16. The tight end, Dot Williams, number 81. And Robert Henson Jr., the tight end, number 86. Offensive guard, over yonder, number 65, and Lamarcus Jamarcus the fourth Jr., number 77 at tackle. 1st and 10 for your Lexington Miners.
I think I look to them to lean on James here, try and get that running game established early.
Taking their time at the line here, letting the play clock wind down. They go pass right out of the gate, and it's a little drop off there. And the halfback gets about 3, as we will take a look real quickly here at the Nashville defense. Number 69 defensive end, Theo Grant Petty. Number 78 defensive end, Connor O'Shaughnessy. Number 55 defensive tackle, Ralph Leopold. The outside linebacker, number 99, Dallas Knowles. Cornerback, Bentley Bonner, number 22, and strong safety, Chris Delroy, number 20. Man in motion, that is the wide receiver, Alexander West, for the Lexington Miners. 2nd and 7, they give the ball, and he is stopped. Not a lot there. 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and that's an impressive stop there. That's a pretty heavy set there from Lexington with the 2 tight ends, one on either side of the line. You're bringing up the middle with James there, who's been running really well so far this season, and you'd expect him to probably get at least more than 2 yards. So good stop there on that Nashville front.
2 in the backfield, 2 flanked out to the quarterback in the receiver slot. Pressure coming. He rolls. He steps up. That's Chad Moore. And he is going to get the first down with a nice slide and will extend this drive for the Lexington Miners. That could be crucial in their success, getting off to a fast-paced start here.
Yeah, look at Chad Moore showing off that maneuverability, Cam. I mean, he's been a little bit shaky in the pass game so far this season. So a little dump off and then a little bootleg run there. Hopefully settle him down a little bit.
The give to James once more, and he cuts right side, a gain of 7. That's a little more of what we're used to seeing with him.
For sure. Bell cow back, Deion James. I mean, 6'2", 220. You'd expect him to have a lot of power coming through, and look for him to get the ball pretty much this entire game all the way through. He's got a lot of stamina. Look for Lexington to really lean on him here.
2nd and 3, just across midfield. The give again to James. And he's going to be stopped a little bit short. Brings up the first big 3rd down of the game.
Yeah, and you'd expect them to run it here, 3rd and inches. You've got a pretty heavy set here. You've got a good running back. You know he can put his head down and get that first down if you need to, fall forward. But I really like the linebackers on Nashville so far. They've been coming up to that line really well in the run coverage.
The handoff, we knew it was going to go to James, and it does. He barrels forward for the first down and some extra yardage. So Lexington right now doing a nice job of converting, keeping this drive alive.
Yeah, talk about working the trenches there. Look at number 63, the center there, getting up to the second level so early to get on that linebacker. Give Deion James a big hole through the middle there. That's just easy yardage.
2 wide receivers, 2 men in the backfield. 1st and 10, Lexington, the early minutes of this game, moving the ball nicely. Pressure coming, he steps up, he throws. It is caught. A nice reception by Ethan Flowers. 1st down, and Lexington moving with ease right now.
Yeah, and Chad Moore looking downfield. I like that from him. He's, like I said earlier, he's been having a bit of trouble so far in the passing game. 2 touchdowns, 8 picks so far through 3 games. But I like seeing him looking downfield there. He's not afraid to sling the ball if he has to, and he gets a good gain to Flowers.
In red zone territory now, Markham at about the 19-yard line. Back to pass. Moore to the end zone. Touchdown. Lexington strikes first on an incredible dart right down the middle, and that is as good as you could draw it up if you're this Lexington Miners team. Cole with the touchdown reception.
For sure. A throw so nice, you got to do it twice there, Cam. Straight down the middle, 2 plays in a row there. I mean, it just opens up right there. Good running by Cole there on the route, but really well placed by Chad Moore. Straight down, right over the linebackers there. Settles it into that little weak spot in the coverage. Lexington on the board first.
Ian Degan now to attempt the extra point for Lexington. We're here in Music City, and Lexington has came into their house and put the first touchdown on the board. The extra point is good. It's a 7-zip lead for Lexington after an 8-play, 63-yard drive.
Yeah, and I think the Music City, I think those amps just got turned down a little bit here. I mean, I think if you were Nashville, such a great defense they've had all season so far, I think you were definitely not expecting Lexington to come in here and immediately put up a touchdown on their first drive. So it'll be interesting to see how Nashville responds here. I mean, they've got great offensive talent. I think we all know that. So how are they going to respond coming back against Lexington now?
This kick will be returned. Easton King on the return crosses the 25, will be down to the 27. Let's take a look at the Nashville tempo offense. Quarterback number 2, Switch Thumper. Halfback number 21, Ace Ketchum. The fullback, number 32, Stanley Younger. The wide receivers, number 14, Easton Keene. Number 15, Kenny Hendricks. Number 87, Elliott Pope Jr. The 2 tight ends, number 43, Cables McGill, and number 82, Leon Sandcastle. And the center, number 53, Don Johnson. 1st down, they give it. Left side, room to run. Ooh. Stanley Younger still on his feet before being run out of bounds, and that is how you respond to a big-time offensive possession by the away team. You come right back and hit them in the mouth with ground-and-pound football.
Yeah, and talk about space to run. That's some endless green pasture right there for Younger. One head of this 2-headed running monster here that the Nashville tempo have. Ace Ketchum as your halfback. Stanley Younger tends to play more of a fullback role. They seem to split carries pretty evenly, though, Cam. So if you see Younger getting out there like that early on, I mean, maybe the hot hand might be with Stanley tonight.
1st and 10 now, 2 wide receivers out to the right. Pressure coming. He steps up, he throws. That is complete once again to King for another 1st down. Let's take a look at the Lexington defense. Defensive end number 90, Darko Young. Defensive tackle number 51, Brookie Burr. Number 54, inside linebacker Jason Clay. The cornerback, number 20, Kelly Kay. Your 2 free safeties, number 21, Big O Renfro. Number 39, John Jones. And the strong safety, number 27, Kev Say Jr. As Nashville now really mounting an offensive drive of their own and doing it quickly. They're already down to the 26-yard line of Lexington. And that is the first play that's going to go for nothing there. Going to stay right at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach this here. They've been moving the ball, a lot of chunk plays so far this drive, but now you get stopped on 1st down. You're 2nd and 9. That's pretty long distance, so the playbook starts to narrow up a little here. It looks like they might run.
They come out in a pass formation, going across the middle to King. He's the hot man early on, getting a lot of the targets so far in this game, and that's going to make it a manageable 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and I like that from Switch Thumper. You dump it off to Easton King there on the short route. Let him do the work through the yards after catch. Try and get a better position for this third down here. Open your playbook up a little more. But Lexington so far have been hustling to the ball.
Switch Thumper under center. Man in motion. That is Kenny Hendricks. We'll hear from him for sure tonight in today's game, putting up good numbers so far this season. There's the snap. Pressure is coming. He just gets rid of it, and it's Hendricks. Just like we mentioned, Kenny Hendricks. We knew his name would get called eventually. They convert for a 1st and goal.
Yeah, Kenny Hendricks is going to be having a great night for sure. That's only his first catch, but, I mean, I'm sure he's going to get the ball probably at least 5 times if you're Nashville looking to get the ball to him. But talk about a blitz pickup there. I mean, if you're Lexington, the defensive coordinator there, you got to be so happy. You got a guy coming in unblocked, and then at the last second, all of a sudden he gets picked up, and Switch Thumper manages to keep his composure, complete that pass. That's tough.
They run it now, 1st and goal. They give it to Stanley Younger, and he almost crossed that goal line for 6. They're going to mark him just short. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and that's what your coaches always tell you is keep your legs moving, you know. If you're getting tackled, you want to make sure that you keep your motor moving and try and push as hard as you can to get some yards there. Younger was tackled starting about the 4-yard line, and he just keeps moving, and now they're at the 1-inch yard line.
That's what 6'4", 235 will do for you. They give it again, this time stuffed. That was Ace Ketchum on that carry. They bring him down just short of the goal line, and that's going to bring up another 3rd down. That's Jason Clay on the stop.
Yeah, and what a hit from Jason Clay. I might be a little biased as a linebacker lever myself, but when you come up from that 2nd level and you make that big hit on the goal line there, that's something that can really swing momentum here, although I'm sure that Nashville's looking to pound the rock still here on 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. The crowd comes to their feet. They give it left side that time. Touchdown, Ace Ketchum. We are an extra point away from having a tied ball game in Music City. What a great response by this Nashville tempo, keeping it up tempo as well.
Yeah, and it didn't look too hard for them. I mean, especially the first couple plays were really chunk gains, but then even when you get down here in the red zone, you know, you expect that you're starting to get less and less per play, but Nashville's still moving it well, keeping it on the ground and grinding out those good yards there. And I like that run call. You get stuffed on the inside on 2nd down, you got 3rd down and goal, and you take it outside, you know, try and go where they're weaker.
The extra point attempt by Takeda Yuki. The hold, the kick, it is good. And I noticed Takeda is in the game chat with us this evening. Takeda, if we are pronouncing that correctly, definitely let us know. If not, let us know. We want to get that right for you. That extra point is good. All tied up at 7 with 3:34 left in a fast-moving 1st quarter.
Yeah, and it's good to answer there from Nashville. So now if you're Lexington, you know, you got the touchdown on the first drive, but can you keep that momentum going here? Nashville's had a really good defense all season, so it might be harder than you think.
A great return right there out to the 35-yard line. So Lexington will set up shop. Now it's going to be interesting. Are we going to have an offensive shootout here, or are we going to see defenses finally anchored down and take hold? If that's the case, I got to pose this question, Brandon. Can Lexington's offense hang with what Nashville's offense can do?
Oh, I don't know. That might be tough. I know we've been talking about Chad Moore's struggles as quarterback. He's looked good so far tonight, so it's possible. But Nashville's had one of the best defenses in the entire SFLm so far this season. So I think at some point the momentum for Lexington would probably run out.
1st and 10, the handoff to Deion James. He gets 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I like that call there. You don't get too much in terms of yardage, but, you know, keeping James involved in the game is going to be really important here for Lexington. He's their bell cow back. He's probably the most reliable person on that offense. So as long as you can keep getting him some chunk yardage, keep him warm, keep him involved in the game, I think it'll be good for Lexington.
Clock continuing to run, 2nd and 7. They give again to James. Stopped, completely stuffed this time at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle by number 22, Bentley Bonner.
Yeah, and that's good hustle there, getting out to the outside hole, making sure that's all sealed off there. When you're talking run coverage, generally, especially if you're coming outside, you want to make sure that the contain is there, and the contain was definitely there for Nashville that time.
Quick pass, little drop off there. And he stays on his feet. Oh, a nice job right there by Dion James. He turned nothing into something, and this drive continues. Great resiliency right there by Dion James.
Yeah, like turning water into wine. I mean, he gets this little dump-off screen pass, and usually when you talk Dion James, you're talking a guy who puts his head down and runs people over there. But talk about the elusiveness there. He's basically shimmying past about 3 Nashville defenders there to get that first down. That's really good work.
Lexington has came to play today. 1st and 10 right at midfield. The pass complete. That is reeled in by C.J. Parrish. 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Chad Moore looking for the more short route passing here, trying to make his receivers do a little bit more of the work, and I like that. Get him into a rhythm. Make sure that his throws are pretty low danger right now, because I think the one thing that really could kill Lexington offensively is turnovers from Chad. So anything that's safer is probably a good bet.
2nd and 5. The give again is to James. Gets caught behind the lineman and is stopped. No gain on the play, really. That brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, I think that's a little unfortunate. It looked like he had a lot of space there outside the left tackle, but I think he got his head down a little early there, trying to just bull rush his way through. He didn't really see that there was such a gap there on the outside, so Nashville's able to quickly rally in and get that tackle.
The crowd chants defense. They want to see a stop by the home team. Let's see what Lexington can do. They unload the pass. Complete near the 30-yard line. Ethan Flowers with his first big reception of the evening, and that'll silence the home team crowd.
Yeah, and that's a big momentum swing right there. When you're talking as an away team, coming in on 3rd down, you got the crowd chanting at you. You know that you're going to have to pass it with a quarterback who's been a little rough so far this season to start out. If you get that, though, like they just did, that could be big for the momentum.
A fast-moving first quarter. We are down to a minute left. Passing play again, this time off the hands right there. That was a dangerous throw. A great deflection by Chris Delro, and Chad Moore has to be thanking his lucky stars that that one wasn't picked.
Yeah, and if you're the offensive coordinator, you got to be groaning in pain there, because I think if Chad put a little bit more touch on that ball and lofted it over, it looked like the receiver just had a wide open red carpet to the end zone there. So a missed opportunity for sure.
Moore back to pass, pressure coming, steps up the run. He's got room. He's got close to the first down. He's going to slide and be about a yard short.
Yeah, and that's a great play there. You don't see anything there. Tuck the ball and get some good yards there. And that turns if he throws an incomplete there, 3rd and 10 into now 3rd and 1, that's a lot more manageable. Keeps your playbook way more open.
Moore to James, round right side, gets just enough, and I mean just enough. Gets his arms forward there, past the yard markers. 1st and 10. We'll see if they want to run another play in this first quarter. They're quickly back to the line. 22 seconds and counting in this SFLm double elimination first round game. Winner faces Pittsburgh. Loser faces San Jose in the losers bracket. Man in motion for Lexington. Chad Moore under center. They will get one more play off. Through the air, the pass is just off the mark. I believe that was intended for Ethan Flowers. 2nd down.
Yeah, Ethan Flowers has been getting a lot of looks here. I'm surprised, actually. West and Parrish have kind of been the 2 big receivers for Lexington so far this season. So getting Ethan Flowers involved is something that we haven't seen too much of yet from Lexington this season. But he's been playing well so far. I think, Chad just needs to settle down a little bit, try and hone in on that accuracy.
Likely the final play of the first quarter here, and it's a pass play, and it's caught. He goes back to Flowers, breaks a tackle, touchdown, Lexington. They end the first quarter in style, retaking the lead, and a great response by the Miners.
Yeah, and there he is again, Ethan Flowers. I mean, we were just talking about him. But a great catch there, and then the strength to break off that tackle from the cornerback, get into the end zone, and end this first quarter on a high note for sure.
Lexington really putting forth a great first quarter effort here. If there were any doubters about how they were going to come out and play this game because of the 1-2 record, they have been silenced. Great first quarter again by Lexington. Kicker Ian Degan on for the extra point. And they've got a 7-point lead after an 11-play, 64-yard drive. 3 minutes and 34 seconds to get to the end zone. And, folks, that brings us to the end of the first quarter. We hope you're having fun with us. This couldn't get any better. Lexington leading Nashville 17-14. 14-7. We're ready for the next kickoff here. That will start the second quarter as well. How will Nashville respond? We'll find out.
I mean, you'd hope if you're Nashville that you respond with another touchdown, but you mentioned 11 plays there on that drive for Lexington. That means you're getting them close to stops there. You're getting a lot of third downs, but they keep converting there, and that's, that could be a big decider here for the game if Nashville's defense can manage to clamp down and stop them from converting some of those third downs and converting them into points.
Hendricks gets the ball up to the 32. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action and help the channel grow through your support. 1st and 10, Nashville tempo from the 32-yard line. One to the air once more. Just off target there. That was Switch Thumper going for his intended receiver. That brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and I like that idea there from Switch. It's 1st down. Why not try and take a shot down the field? You've got a great quarterback. You've got good receivers. I think he's a little unlucky there with the placement, trying to lead his guy a little bit more than he probably should have. But I'm interested to see what they do on 2nd down here. Did they try and run the ball?
They go back to the air. Thumper, plenty of time all day. Unloads, and that is just off the hand. Nice defensive coverage right there by Lexington, and that forces Nashville into an early 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, he did have all day back there, and so that's a big credit to the Nashville pass protection from the offensive line. But I think Switch might have made a wrong decision there. I think there was 2 or 3 wide receivers out on the right side of that play there that were a lot more open than whoever he was trying to throw to, in triple coverage by Lexington on that left side. So maybe might want that one back.
Lexington now showing pressure. Will they come or will they back off? Man in motion for Nashville. 3rd and 10. A big play in this game already. Pressure coming around the edge. Thumper throws. It is caught to Hendricks across midfield, and this drive will continue. And boy, that's the things right there that you have to look out for with this Nashville team.
Yeah, a lot of deep routes going out there, and Hendricks kind of sits in a little bit in this pocket in the zone. Good vision by Switch to see him there and get it to him for that 3rd down conversion, and that's big because when you're converting on long distances on 3rd down, not only does it really energize the offense, but it demoralizes the defense too.
1st and 10. Now one receiver on either side of Switch Thumper with a man in the backfield. The pass, quick out, complete. Only for 2 yards. That was Hendricks once again, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, but I think he'll be happy just to complete that one. It looked like there was a Lexington linebacker about a step away from possibly intercepting that one. So good job by Switch Thumper there to kind of rifle that one into where his receiver could get it. Not too much there, but I think he'll take that.
2nd down. The give. Oh, he's got room to run too. Stanley Younger busting out right side, staying along that sideline there, and he gets a nice chunk of yardage. Another fresh set of downs for Nashville, and Stanley Younger really threatening to bust one of these runs wide open.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done really well with the first couple touches he's gotten here. Break and contain really well on that play, though. Lexington kind of leaving that right sideline open a little bit there. Good job by Stanley Younger to exploit that space there and get a bunch of yards.
Stanley Younger has such a physicality. You can tell in just the way that he carries himself, the way that he carries the football. One of those guys that never goes down upon initial contact.
Yeah, I mean, that's what 6'4", 235 will get you. There's a reason why they put him in the fullback position most of the time. He's built like it.
Man in motion, that's Elliott Pope Jr. Moves over from the right to the left. 2 receivers now on the left. They hand off again to Ace Ketchum, and he gets stopped after about a yard. And that's going to, again, bring up 2nd down, and we'll see what Nashville can drum up here.
Yeah, and I think that was good engagement there from that Lexington defensive line there. I think there were a couple holes there that Ketchum could have gone through, but good job by those defensive linemen to really engage those offensive linemen, not let them get to the 2nd level, and eventually Ketchum goes down.
Younger Again, doesn't get much. I think they're going to mark him right around the line of scrimmage once again. And it's 3rd down and 9. And if you are Lexington right here and you are on this defensive side of the ball, you know you have a good opportunity to come up with a big-time stop. Really put some more confidence behind this team.
Yeah, I just want to highlight the big hit there by Kevsey Jr. coming down from that safety position to get that nice hit. Stop him for a very short gain.
Hendricks in motion. 3 over on the right side now. Thumper back to pass. Goes to the air pressure coming around the edge. And he had his man. He was looking for Kenny Hendricks. He was breaking free on the route, but just not able to connect. And Lexington gets a big stop, bringing up 4th down. And Takeda Yuki will come out to attempt a 43-yard field goal.
Yeah, and Switch Thumper will want that one back. Kenny Hendricks was open on that inside post there. If he puts it on the money, that's a touchdown for Nashville. But let's see if Yuki can nail this field goal.
From the right hash mark, the hold is good. The kick is up. And he does. Nashville puts 3 more on the board after a 9-play, 42-yard drive and draws within 4. A great kick by Takeda Yuki there.
Yeah, really great kick. That's the difference between having a contracted kicker and a non-contracted kicker down here in the minors. It gives you opportunities to score from positions that other teams might not be able to. Great kick by Takeda Yuki.
7:22 left in this first half of what has been a compelling game thus far. We're only getting started, folks. Here's the kick. Back to receive it now. Lexington, that is going to be Flowers, I believe. He takes it and runs to the 29-yard line where they will set up shop. Hey, folks, the offseason for the SFL heats up this weekend, starting with the Season 22 schedule release tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Teams can begin re-signing players at 10 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, December 10th. Free agents will get the spotlight on the Free Agency Frenzy live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern later that evening. It's all coming up this weekend on SFL YouTube and SimulationFL.net. And here's the give to James. Breaking free, breaks some tackles. What a nice job. About an 11-yard run there for the halfback, Dion James, and Lexington continuing to keep their foot on the gas.
Yeah, and that's the epitome of a Dion James run right there. About 6 yards in, he's coming up against a Nashville defender there, and you're wondering what's going to happen, and James just puts his shoulder down and runs him over and then gets the first down afterwards. That is just the epitome of the tough style of running that Dion James has. It's so hard to bring him down.
Lexington in those powder blue uniforms line up on about the 42-yard line with his fresh set of downs. 6:53 and counting in the first half. The give again. That time stopped. Not a lot there as Coleman gets about 4. They'll give him some forward progress.
Yeah, but still a good run there. I mean, 2nd and 6, that's a pretty short yardage here, so you're keeping your playbook pretty open. And you have to wonder, Nashville has a pretty undermanned defensive unit compared to some of the other teams in this league. Are they going to start to get tired as Lexington continues to pound the rock?
Definitely tell that's what they are going for, wanting to exhaust this Nashville defense early and often. This time they go back to pass. Chad Moore, he throws and it's intercepted. And that was a fight for that one, I do believe. In the end, coming up with it, the Nashville tempo. And that was what we were worried about, the interception bug biting again. Let's take a look at this play.
Yeah, it looks like he felt the pressure a little bit there, but I think you got to have a little bit better instinct than trying to throw the ball over the middle of the field when the play's breaking down like that. I think he might have had something out on the outside. Either way, that's going to sting for Lexington. They had a chance to really up the momentum swing here by scoring another touchdown on this drive, and instead, Nashville's got a chance.
And you feel a momentum shift immediately. The ball is at midfield, 1st and 10. The handoff now to Younger. Younger breaking tackles, 10 yards, enough for the first. And just like that, Stanley Younger igniting this Nashville offense. So they get the interception, and they come right back and run it right down the throat of Lexington. And as we said, momentum is turning.
Yeah, for sure. And Stanley Younger, man, the hot hand really seems to be with him right now. Ace Ketchum hasn't had too much success on the ground game so far, but Younger, 5 carries for 70 yards, long at 34. He's been churning on this ground game so far.
Thumper, pressure coming. He rolls out, buying time, and he's got his man Hendricks wide open, misses a tackle, gets more yardage after the fact. And this Nashville tempo offense, as we say, no pun intended, they are picking up tempo, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, Nashville will take that all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Kenny Hendricks is their big receiving threat out there, and if he gets wide open like that, you know Switch is going to be looking his way the entire game. So if you're Lexington, you really got to try and control that, make sure that Kenny doesn't get open too much.
Kelly Key, was trying to contain Hendricks there on the outside, and Hendricks gets the best of that one. This time, we'll see what happens as they set up shop out around the 11-yard line here. 1st and 10 in red zone territory already. Man in motion. That's Elliott Pope once more, moving down to the bottom of the screen there. Time running out here on the play clock. They get it off. That pass is intercepted. Threw it right to him, right into the hands of Jason Clay for Lexington. So both teams now exchanging turnovers, and Lexington defense comes up with a great response.
Yeah, Jason Clay's been having a really good start to this game here. I don't really know what Switch saw there on that one. Clay did a good job bumping the receiver on the route, not really letting him get his timing down. And Switch still tries to kind of get it there, looking for everything in the end zone, but that's a big turnover. Lexington has a chance to kind of right the wrong from last drive now.
They were certainly granted a reprieve right there, as you mentioned. So they start at their 20-yard line. Maybe a new lease on life, if you will, for Lexington. Sending a man in motion. C.J. Parrish now. The pass. Complete. Room to run. That's Flowers. Ethan Flowers with another great catch and run. And Lexington going right back to the air game, showing they have complete confidence in Chad Moore.
Yeah, and I like that mental resilience from Chad. You know, you throw a pick, sometimes you worry that your quarterback might get a little rattled, might start seeing things that aren't there, but he goes right down the field, and that's not an easy throw to make there. That's down the field a good distance. And Ethan Flowers has really been the spark on this Lexington passing game.
Lexington now once again moving the ball. A fast-moving game, folks. We're already down to 4:44 in this first half and counting. The give. Deion James working left side, sheds a tackle. It's a foot race now, folks. Heading over to the sideline there. One man to beat, and he is dragged down, but not before an impressive run. So this Lexington team, a really great job of mixing pass and run, and it has this Nashville defense on their toes.
Yeah, and Deion James there with a great run. I mean, he breaks the tackle there, and then he's got open space, and he's got the speed to really exploit that open space, getting down the sideline quick there. And even when being tackled, he's still falling forward, getting more yards. That is really what Lexington wants to see here. You're going to be leaning on him a lot throughout this game. 10 carries, 66 yards so far. A good game. I'd look for him to get into the end zone, hopefully on this drive.
A great job right there by Chris Delro, not quitting on the play and dragging him down. Again, the give to James, working left side. Actually, that's going to be, I believe that's Coleman, excuse me on that one. 7-yard gain on that as they put Coleman in on that formation, bringing up 2nd and 3 after a nice tackle there. And as you see, folks, want to make mention again, the clock continuing to run. Ground and pound will do that. These games really do move by quickly when you have these long, methodical drives that both of these teams have. One wide receiver there on the right side, 2 men in the backfield. They give it once more to James. And that brings up 3rd down. Stopped without a big gain. Let's put it that way, a minimal gain.
And that's what you're looking for if you're Nashville, you know, as much as you can possibly limit him, because I don't think you're really going to be able to stop someone like Deion James. But really good coverage there on the inside, you know. It seems like James's big runs so far have all been outside. On the inside, Nashville's doing a good job limiting how much space he's getting.
And a big 3rd down here. Nashville trying to get off the field. And they give it again. This time, nothing there either. Again, trying to just plow behind that lineman who was trying to make a way for him. And not enough. 4th and 2. Now this will bring out the kicker for Lexington. That is once again Ian Degan on to try a field goal attempt. And it is good. started to swing wide a little bit there. It curved back around, and Lexington pads their lead.
Yeah, probably selling some heart medication on the side there. It starts out outside of the post, but he just manages to hook it back in. 7-point lead for Lexington. That is really nice to see, considering that turnover that they had on the previous drive. You know, they were worried that they're probably going to go down to Nashville. So to build on their lead is really big for them.
And we'll see how Nashville can respond. That's Hendricks with the return out to the 32-yard line. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 now for Nashville. You know they're going to be looking at running a 2-minute offense here, Brandon. What should we expect from this team?
Well, I mean, I think you're going to have to lean on Switch Thumper. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league so far this season. He's got a lot of weapons. Kenny Hendricks, Easton King's been playing well tonight. Elliott Pope Jr. and Cables McGill, Leon Sandcastle still haven't been involved yet, but they're also good targets. I think you're going to be looking to see them throwing down the field quite a bit here, trying to stretch this Lexington defense as much as possible.
On 1st down, the give. Up the middle, catch him, and he stopped after Spragan makes a nice tackle, 2-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, Spragan with a big hit there. You might start looking at using some timeouts here if you're Lexington. I mean, this could be the last drive. If you stop him here, though, you might get a chance to have one more drive before the end of the half to try and get some points.
The give once more, and right now this rushing game of Nashville pretty much non-existent at the moment. It's changed drastically from when we saw Stanley Younger just barreling, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the field for some big-time yardage. Now it seems as if they've got containment on that for the moment. 3rd down.
Yeah, another big hit there from Jason Clay, but Nashville's really taking their time on this drive here. I thought they would be trying to, stretch the field, hustle a little bit, try and get some more points on the board before the end of the half, but 2 runs in a row. Now you're in a 3rd and relatively long situation here. Could be a little bit tough.
2-minute warning in this first half of the double elimination first round matchup between Lexington and Nashville, and what a good one it's been. If you're just tuning in, my name's Cameron Duty with Brandon Walters. Now Nashville, pass complete to Hendricks, turning upfield. He gets the 1st down, and they'll start this 2-minute drive. Under 2 minutes now, as we said, 1:55 to go. He gets out of bounds, preserving some clock. And finally, a little bit of life to this Nashville tempo offense again.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up play. Look at Ace catch him here. Oh, I thought he ducked under that one. No, it just went past him there. But, yeah, really good play there from Hendricks. Getting a good amount of yardage and then getting out of bounds so you can save that timeout. That could be big for Nashville here. And converting that 3rd down is really big for the momentum. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Hendricks thrown to 5 times and 5 receptions for 70-plus yards, 76 yards. You don't get any better than that. 1st down now, approaching midfield once more, sending the tight end Elliott Pope Jr., or the wide receiver rather, Elliott Pope Jr. in motion. Thumper to pass. Plenty of time. He finds his man. A nice reception. That's Stanley Younger now getting in the reception game.
Yeah, and talk about a great skill set there from Stanley Younger. Jason Clay is standing right there in the middle of the field waiting to put a big hit on. And not only does Younger catch that ball, but he manages to ride that hit out and keep possession of the ball. That's really impressive.
He certainly had the advantage in the height department as well, as we've talked about, mentioned it a couple of times already. He comes in 6'4". You can use that to the advantage, of course, and he was able to put that where only he could get it. Switch Thumper now with the handoff to Younger once more, and this time he is wrapped up immediately, and that was Jason Clay once again. So those two squaring off again for a 2nd straight play.
Yeah, he wins that round of the battle for sure there. Good tackle. Now they're in the hurry-up offense. Instead of calling timeouts here, I'm a little worried as to the clock management.
Thumper to pass, plenty of time. He's got his man Hendricks over on the flat left side, close to the sidelines. He will not get out, and they will be forced to call a timeout.
Yeah, first timeout here for Nashville. 3rd and 1. I mean, I think with the way they've been calling this drive so far, they might actually try and run this thing with Younger, just try and put his head down and get a couple yards here.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and as you said, 1 man in the backfield. They go pass. They go deep. And that pass is caught. They're going to call a timeout very quickly there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, without getting a replay, I think that was
Cables McGill.
That's right, yeah. Cables McGill on the reception. And Thumper having a pretty nice day, barring the interception, 10 of 14, 134 yards thus far.
Yeah, first involvement from Cables, but that's a good catch.
Thumper to pass. Just off the mark, was going for Easton King. Back to the drawing board for second down.
Yeah, I got jammed there on the line. The press coverage coming up and kind of messed up the timing there. Switch thought he'd be a little bit further down the field, so when he makes that throw, you know, there's a little bit of a disconnect there. That's a good play out on the boundary by the corner.
2nd and 10, less than a minute remaining in this first half of a fast-moving game. Now we see motion again. This time it is moved to the left side now. Cables McGill. We just mentioned he come up with that big-time reception. Will they go to him again? Back to the air they go. Pressure coming. He gets it out this time. It is caught.
I think he stepped out.
Stepped out. Yep. He stepped out. Elliott Pope with his first reception of the night. Going to be about a yard short. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and talk about turning not much into something big there. I thought Pope was going to get dropped there for not much gain there, but he gets to the outside, breaks a couple tackles. If he doesn't step out of bounds there, he's walking in for the touchdown.
3rd and 1, sending Kenny Hendricks in motion. 2 wide receivers to the left. You've got Stanley Younger in the backfield. A rollout by Switch Thumper. He throws. It is caught. Kenny Hendricks for the touchdown, and they're just an extra point away from tying this one up at 17.
Yeah, Hendricks getting involved early here. I think that's his 6th or 7th catch maybe. I actually like the play design there to get Switch to roll out a little bit, because if nothing's open, as it so rarely ever is in this tight red zone situation, he's in a much better position to use those legs and try and get it himself there. But he sees Hendricks across the end zone there, and that's just a good throw.
Takeda Yuki now on to attempt the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. A tie ball game. Neither one of these teams letting up an inch, and I got to believe we're going to have a fun 47 seconds before we get to halftime.
For sure. That's a great 2-minute drill there, though, from Nashville. That's one of the things that coaches really try and work on in practice every single week. Hey, guys, we got to work on this 2-minute drill. And they always tell them, because you never know when you'll have to use it in the game. They did it there to perfection.
Flowers brings this one out. Ethan Flowers stays on his feet, gets across the 30, down to the 33-yard line. 41 seconds left in this first half. What do you do if you're Lexington here, Brandon? Do you play it conservative and go into the half content with a tie ball game, or do you try to push down the field?
I think this might sound a little defeatist here, but I think you'd go to half pretty happy, all things considered, to be honest. You're here in the Music City, in Nashville, and you're still tied with a team that could be causing you a lot of trouble. And, you know, Chad has been pretty good so far this game. I've been really impressed with him, but he's got a propensity to turn it over. So I think you run the ball here and just go to the half.
They go to the air. They play it safe, though, just a little short pass over the middle. That one's going to be complete for about 8 yards, and we will see if they will choose to run a play again or let the clock wind down. You mentioned more stats. 9 of 12, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns to his credit, the 1 interception. He'll want to clean that up in the second half. Still playing a very good game here.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. He's been matching Switch Thumper blow for blow pretty much so far this game.
Inside of 10 seconds, and they give it. It's going to be a run right up the middle, and as you called it, Lexington going to be content to ride this into halftime. We are all tied at 17, folks. Once again, double elimination, first round matchup. Lexington and Nashville have shown up to play in what has been a great first down. Brandon, take us through your thoughts and what you expect on the other half of this break.
Yeah, it's been a really good game, a really tight game. I think the turnovers coming in towards the end of that first half there were really critical. I mean, Nashville turning the ball over in the end zone there, that's big point swing, that's big momentum swing. And if you're Lexington, you got to be pretty happy here. Chad Moore has been really matching Switch Thumper so far this game. I've been really impressed with the Lexington offense. I was a little worried coming into this game. Nashville's had a great defense all season, but Lexington is putting up a really good fight so far. I think if you're Nashville, though, you're still pretty calm, you know. Stanley Younger's been having a really good day on the ground. Kenny Hendricks has been hot through the air. I think you just keep doing what you've been doing. And, you know, I think eventually, if you're Nashville, you would expect that kind of momentum plus the home field advantage to kind of carry over.
Well, folks, you have just a small window of time. Get your popcorn ready, refill your popcorn bowls, get your soft drink of choice there or whatever it is you have with you, and settle in for what is sure to be a very fun second half. As we said, all tied up here at 17. With my partner, Brandon Walters, I am Cameron Duty. We thank you for joining us for a fun nightcap of SFLm action. We'll see what this second half has in store as Nashville will receive the kickoff. We'll see if they can get some momentum on their side here. There is the kick, and it is returnable. Down to the 25, across the 28-yard line as King is tackled. And folks, if you're liking that game so far, once again, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, we want to remind you, if you've ever wanted to be play-by-play or analyst broadcaster, we're always looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for this minor league and next major league season. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details how you can get in to this game. Handoff. This time right side. First down and then some. Will not go down. Ace Ketchum. He's saying, hey, catch me if you can. 1st and 10 right off the bat for the tempo.
Yeah, throwing up a little bit of a challenge flag to his backfield mate, Stanley Younger there. You know, anything you can do, I can do too, Stanley. That's his first really big carry of the day. 7 carries, only 21 yards so far. Got a touchdown, but I think Ace will be looking to turn it up in this second half.
He definitely showed some speed and skill on that one. Now 1st and 10, 2 receivers over to the right, 2 men in the backfield behind quarterback, Switch Thumper. Thumper back to throw. The pass is caught. Again, that's Hendricks over the middle. Kenny Hendricks turning upfield and gets a first down once more.
Yeah, good catch there. Good run after the catch from Kenny Hendricks as well. But I want to look at the trenches there. That's a big blitz from Lexington. I think that's 5 or 6 they're being sent, and the pass protection is perfect for Switch Thumper there. So really big credit to those guys on the offensive line for Nashville.
Allowing Switch Thumper to stand in there literally cool as a cucumber. As you see the stats for Hendricks, over 100 yards now on the day. Very impressive, and plenty of football left to play. First down, they give it again to Ace Ketchum. Ace gets about, they're going to say he got a yard there. 2nd and 9 after a nice tackle by the Lexington Miners.
Yeah, Kev Say Jr. there again on the run support, coming in from that strong safety position and laying another big hit in the middle of the field on Nashville's running backs. He's been laying the wood so far tonight. Him and Jason Clay have been really good on this Lexington defense.
Already in Lexington territory, and that run goes for about 2 as well. Once again, the tackle that time was made by Jason Clay, whose name we've called a couple of times already in this game, really making his presence known.
Yeah, and if you're that middle linebacker, you know, run support is such a big thing of what they do. Jason Clay has been in the hole all night long so far. He's been getting to these running backs early, and he's been wrapping them up well.
1 man in the backfield. They send him out, and it's going to be a screen. A little short pass there to Hendricks. I actually thought that was going screen route there to Ace Ketchum. He threw it over the head towards Hendricks. Not enough. They needed more to convert, and so Lexington able to get off the field, their defense that is, and it's going to be a punt. I believe it is the first punt of the day, if I'm not mistaken, for punter Charles Brown.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Trying to corner this one. It's going to hit right about the 20 and take a nice little bounce there for Nashville. So that is where Lexington will set up shop for the very first time in this second half with 7:41 left in the third. The defense strikes first. They come up with the big stop. Nashville not able to capitalize on getting that ball first. What will Lexington do? The ball is at the 15.
A big dose of Deion James. That's my bet.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
For sure.
Show in motion, and they do send a man in motion. That's Alexander West. The pass. Moore, complete. That's caught around the 20-yard line. C.J. Parrish with the reception. A nice pickup on first down.
Yeah. An interesting stat here that I want to mention. Lexington, through 3 games so far this season, that's 6 quarters of second half football, has only scored 1 touchdown in any second half so far this season. It seems like they struggle a lot with dealing with second half adjustments. So if they could score a touchdown here, it'd be really big.
Big indeed, and look at this, a big run by James, who will not go down, will not be denied. And as you mentioned, a great stat indeed. As you said, adjustments, that has been key to Lexington and their success, or maybe it's just as they lack thereof in the second half. We'll see what they can come out and do today. That's going to be a big-time focal point. Right now, so far, so good. And take a look at James' stats as well there.
I mean, almost half of his yards coming after being hit so far. He's consistently breaking tackles on this Nashville team.
1st and 10 to James around right side. He cuts back in, seeing a little bit of a hole there, and he gets 5.
Yeah, what'd you say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh? They're really going to lean on Deion James this second half, I anticipate. And so far, it's looking really good.
You got to be able to show them that you can stop them, right?
Yeah. You got to, I'd say, stick with it until Nashville proves that they can do something about it.
2nd and 5, 2 men in the backfield, 1 wide receiver out to the right. A handoff again. This time it is stopped short of the first down, although it does bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and I really want to give some credit here to Lexington's offensive line. I mean, that's a backup running right there for another hard 4 yards straight up the middle. They've been doing really great jobs of getting lanes open in the middle for these running backs so far this game.
You expect run, they give it. James sheds a tackle, and look at that stiff arm. And he fought very valiantly to try to cut around the edge. Nothing doing. Carter with the tackle. It's going to bring up 4th and inches here. How aggressive do you want to be? I wouldn't imagine very much.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. A challenge flag coming in here. I think it's going to be tight here. I really want to see another replay of this.
That replay is going to be brought to you by Retroid. Let's take a retroactive look at this play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com.
I think he might have got it there.
This angle will probably be the tell-all. It looks to me like he was stretching, extending far enough to get to the marker. What will the ref call here?
Wow. Oh, they're not going to give it to him. Wow.
Not enough evidence there to overturn the call on the field. And that could be big because now Lexington down a timeout in what is a closely contested ball game. It's 4th and inches, and you would expect here that they would more than likely send on the punting unit. And that's exactly what Lexington is going to do.
Yeah, a timeout and a challenge loss there for Lexington. That could be really big here towards the end of this one.
The kick end over end will be fielded at about the 28-yard line, and it is returned out to the 31-yard line, and that is where they will begin this drive.
Well, I think if you're Nashville here, you got to lean on Younger and catch him a little bit more. Switch was having a bit of troubles with his accuracy coming out on their first drive out of the second half here. So I think you'd be looking to run the ball here a bit more.
Man in motion. That's Elliott Pope Jr. He's been in motion a good portion of the game today. They've used him a lot in that regard. The pass play over the middle, and it is complete. A nice reception by who else? Hendricks himself, Kenny Hendricks, with another first down.
Yeah, it feels like we've been calling his name all night, and we probably have been. Switch thumper there, finding him well. That's some good speed from Kenny to get past that little first level of the Lexington defense, find a little hole, and switches right there to put it on him.
First down. Now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and 2 men in the backfield. They show pressure, and they give the ball off to Ace Ketchum, plowing forward for 4. And that's actually going to bring us halfway through this third quarter, if you can believe it. A fast-moving game, and we've settled into a bit of a defensive romp here.
Yeah, it has been going by really quickly, but Jason Clay, again, with a great tackle in the middle there. He's been fantastic on this run support so far tonight for Lexington's defense. Just insane.
2nd and 6, they go to the air to Stanley Younger. He bulldozes over a man. First down and then some. And he says, if you like that, I'll give you a little bit more. And he takes on Kevsey Jr. for the first down.
Takes on Kevsey Jr. and runs him over like a freight train. That is fantastic work from Stanley Younger. He's been really good so far tonight with the passing. He's caught a couple passes out of the backfield. And with that one, I mean, just full showcase of his power.
Kind of reminds you of the T. Roy Gaines, I think, a little bit, watching him run like that with that power and that physicality. On first down, the throw over the middle, and he had his man breaking free. I believe that was intended for Hendricks once more, just a little too far ahead of him. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if that one was as open as Switch might have thought it was. I think Kevsey Jr. was there waiting for that one to come in. Looked like Hendricks was a little bit bracketed there, but again, Switch Thumper just a little bit off with the accuracy in the second half so far. Really looking for him to dial it in a bit more on these longer throws downfield.
Hendricks in motion. Keep an eye on that as he moves down to the bottom of your screen. Thumper to pass. All day. Great job by that offensive line, and it's caught along the sidelines. Oh no, they're going to say he stepped out. Wow. I thought he was in. I was wondering if we would see this. And the vigorous challenge throw there, and we will get another look at a retroactive look at the play. Presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com.
And you know what, Cam? I don't think he was in. It looked like that right foot came down out of bounds there on the catch.
This angle will certainly tell a lot right here. One.
He's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
After review, the pass has been ruled complete. The catch was made prior to going out of bounds. New York Jets.
And that call is overturned. I don't think either one of us expected it. Upon seeing that replay, the official saying that Hendricks was able to get both feet in bounds before stepping out. And just like that, Nashville has a new lease on life. 1st and 10. And take a look at Thumper right there. Obviously, in the middle of the field, he has been most efficient. But that right side that you just seen, he took advantage of it, 52 yards.
Man.
Unbelievable. Thumper to pass to the end zone. Touchdown. Hendricks set up by that challenge overturn. And they take advantage, full advantage of that, as Nashville goes ahead for the first time this second half.
Yeah, another good catch by Kenny Hendricks there, and good pitch and catch from Switch Thumper as well. But if you're a Lexington coach, you got to be breaking your clipboard on the sideline right now. I don't know how the officials can see that on the replay and rule that a catch.
That'll be a talking point, let's put it that way, for many days to come here in the SFLm. Yuki with the extra point, and Nashville pulls ahead by 1 touchdown, 4:15 left in the third, and I would like to give you all a score update. Chicago leading Bossier City 21-14. That just reached halftime. Once again, Chicago leading Bossier City 21-14. And we've got a barn burner here, folks. Nashville now in the lead, Lexington needing to respond. We'll see what they can do as they bring this kick out across the 30 down to the 33-yard line. Okay, walk me through this mindset, Brandon, of what Lexington may be feeling. They feel like they were robbed on that last play call, that last challenge. 2 challenges, actually, that didn't go their way. How do you reel your guys in and make them focus here?
I mean, your guys are going to be feeling a lot of anger on the sidelines. There's probably a lot of disbelief, a lot of shock. Your guys are probably going to be feeling pretty low. I think if you're the coaching staff, you got to huddle them in and say, hey, guys, that call didn't go our way, but there's nothing we can do about it now. We got to get our heads down, and we got to respond on this drive.
First down, Chad Moore under center, and he hands it off to Deion James. A couple of yards, hard-fought yards, brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and I like that they're sticking with Deion James here. You still got a good chunk of time, about 14 minutes left in the game at this point. You're only down by 7. Stick with the running game. It's been working for you really well so far today. Chad's been throwing the ball real well as well, so you can still, keep a balanced offense, basically.
The give to James once more, running right side, shakes a tackle. He's got room on the edge. Here he goes across the 50 to the 40, breaking free, and they finally run him out of bounds near the 30-yard line, but not before. Another first down, and padding that stat column right there, Deion James, really like you said, the workhorse of this offense tonight.
Yeah, and that's why you stick with him there. He has the ability to break off really big runs, and that could be a really big momentum swing. You see the guys on the sideline there applauding. They're getting fired up. That challenge might have robbed them of a little bit of that belief, that morale, but that'll be sure to get it back.
120 yards today for Deion James, putting in the work, no doubt, and a really impressive game by Lexington all the way around. The handoff this time around right side, shakes a tackle and gets about 3. 2nd and 7, and Coleman that time on the carry. Brandon, you make a good point. That last call, which was so controversial, it's still being talked about actually in game threads, I'm sure. But you're right, that could be a rallying cry for this Lexington team.
Yeah, you got to turn adversity into motivation,
The handoff up the middle. Nothing there. They went run on 2nd down and no gain. That's going to force them into a 3rd and 6 situation here.
Yeah, and I think you got to lean on the pass here. I know the running game's been good so far tonight, but Chad Moore has been slinging the ball really well. He's been doing a very good job of protecting the ball. Obviously, 1 interception, but other than that, he's been doing real well. Look for him to look for Ethan Flowers.
And he goes to the air, pressure coming. He steps up. He runs for the first, and he is met pretty much head on as he went into a slide there. He's going to be short, 4th down.
Yeah, and that's good work on the zone there. Chad Moore stepping up in the pocket there. You saw the pump fake. It looked like he thought about it and then pulled it back at the last second, tried to get it with his legs, but nothing doing there.
And Ian Degan now will get a chance to attempt a field goal. That kick is good. Hook back inside. A great job right there. They draw within 4, so they do come away with some points. And that is going to have to feel good for Lexington to get some points on the board. At the same time, on the flip side there, Brandon, of course, this Nashville defense has to feel pretty good about stopping what looked like it was going to be a runaway drive for a moment.
Yeah, you get that big play for Lexington with Deion James there, and you got to, of course, you never want to assume points, but I think the thought always creeps in your head of, oh, we're going to get a touchdown on this drive. So it could be big for Nashville to stop them there. I just want to highlight both kickers right now having really great games.
King on the return, and they will start from their 34-yard line. About 2 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter of what's been an absolutely fantastic, fun game, a fun night of football. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com, search SFL, and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. 1st and 10, switch thumper back to pass. That pass is caught. That's Hendricks, and that's a 1st down.
Hendricks got to be getting near double digits for catches so far tonight. He's been really good. Switch Thumper's been looking his way a lot here. There hasn't been many targets for the rest of the team. Easton King, Elliott Pope Jr., Cables McGill, Leon Sandcastle. They haven't seen much from Switch Thumper so far tonight. He's been funneling passes to Kenny Hendricks, but it's working.
Coming into today's game, Switch Thumper's main man, as we said, Kenny Hendricks, he had 26 catches for 439 yards and 4 touchdowns at the time. Now, this is before the game. 20 more receptions than the next closest to him, which was Cables McGill with 6 receptions. So they know their bread and butter and what works for them, and they go to it often. Ace Ketchum now, gain of 2, 2nd down. And it's even though you know it's coming, you talk about that connection there between quarterback receiver, it's still hard to stop it even though you anticipate it.
For sure. I know Kelly Key's got to be tearing her heart out right now, trying to figure out how she can cover Kenny Hendricks.
2nd and 8. Thumper again to the air, and he was going for it. And that one batted away. A very nice job. Nice defensive play by Big O Renfro, getting that hand up there to bat that one down.
Yeah, that's a good job to get your head around, see that the ball's coming towards you, and get in the way of it as quickly as possible there. And this is big. 3rd and 8 here. If Lexington gets a stop, we might be seeing a big momentum shift.
Lexington forcing their hand now. Nashville, Hendricks in motion. Keep an eye on that. Moving to the top side of the screen over there on the left side of that line of scrimmage. Thumper to pass all day, going for it, and intercepted.
That's John Jones.
Goodness. John Jones, that's exactly right. A costly interception on 3rd down. They brought the pressure, and the defense stood up.
And I got to tell you, Cam, I'm shocked by the play calling. 3 passes in a row. I mean, I know Switch Thumper's been really good so far tonight, but you've got 2 good running backs, Ace Ketchum and Stanley Younger back there. It seems like they didn't really want to use him too much on that drive, and it comes back to bite them.
Very surprising to see them go away from the run game, and all of a sudden a name that's gone quiet the last couple of series, Stanley Younger, as they went more pass heavy. Now for Lexington, Deion James around the right side. He's warming up. Another gain of 2 as we're within a minute here of heading to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and sticking with Deion James has been a really big sticking point so far for this Lexington offense. I like that they're continuing to stand by their running game, keeping their attack a bit balanced here, especially because it makes the defense for Nashville really have to stay honest, which means that Chad Moore can get better looks in the passing game.
Chad Moore under center. 2 men in the backfield. They go past. Pressure coming. It's a quick drop, and it's called. And no, it's dropped. They call it a fumble. It's picked up, going the other way. That is going to be challenged, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, I think you got to challenge that one. I don't know if he had possession there.
The question is, as you said, did he have it long enough to really be established to make, I guess, what you call a football move, if you will?
There it is.
And there it is. There's that mighty challenge flag as we go back again for another Retroid challenge. As we take a look again at the retroactive look at the play, this is presented by Retroid Plus. Get your Retroid SFL console at GoRetroid.com.
Those red flags getting a lot of use tonight, huh, Cam?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're getting a lot of time to mention that great Retroid product. So, folks, take a look at that if you haven't already. You'll want one of those in your hand. Taking a look at it, I'm with you. I still agree. I don't think he had possession long enough to call that a completion.
It's a fumble.
It's a fumble. And it is called a fumble on the field, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't believe the refs are making too many friends out there tonight. But nevertheless, go ahead.
I was just going to say the state of Kentucky is going to be up in arms tonight. That's the second failed challenge for Lexington there. I think that one's a little bit more 50-50 than the first one for sure, but I really don't think Ethan Flowers got his feet down and was able to really get possession there.
And once again, a turnover by Nashville. This time, it doesn't affect them. They get the ball right back. 2nd and 6. We've seen that a couple of times in today's game where a team will commit a turnover and then they get it right back somehow. And in this case, Nashville is at the advantage of that. 2nd and 6.
Yeah, Steven Younger, only 7 carries so far. Or Stanley Younger, excuse me. Only 7 carries so far. I feel like they've gone away from him so far in the second half, but he's running the ball really well still. I think you should try and stick with him.
And they go back to Younger, bulldozing, and that's why you go to Stanley Younger. 1st and 10, not after he buries a couple of Lexington Miners in the process. Talk about digging a hole right there. He literally planted them in the ground. Take a look at this replay.
Poor Kev Say Jr. is 6 feet under the turf in Nashville right now. That was a disgusting truck move there from Stanley Younger.
Get your 4s ready, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading to the 4th quarter. Nashville leads 24-20. This game is far from over, folks. I'm Cameron Duty, along with my partner, Brandon Walters. Thanks to Cameron Irvine working there behind the scenes in the production of this game. And thank you all for staying with us. This has been fun, and if you've got any fingernails left to bite off, you're going to get rid of them this next quarter. I can guarantee it. First down from the 20 for Nashville. A run, 3-yard gain.
Yeah, and a nice shoestring tackle there on Stanley Younger. You know, apparently trying to engage him from the front is bad news, as Kev Say Jr. can tell you. So getting that shoestring tackle might be a little bit of a safer way to bring him down.
2nd and 7. Ball now on about the 17-yard line. Thumper going to the air, going for Hendricks, and he is hit. And you got to believe they're going to call interference on that one, the way that flag came in.
Yeah, definitely. Defensive pass interference there. Hendricks blanketed pretty well, and then on top of that, right as the ball is getting there, takes a pretty big shot.
And that brings us to a 1st and goal. And Nashville now, for the very first time today, looking to put a little bit of daylight between themselves and a Lexington Miners team that has played so very well.
Yeah, the defense has really got to stand tall here, get a goal line stand. I think if they stop them and Nashville kicks a field goal here, it's still only a 7-point game. But if Nashville does score a touchdown, it might be a little hard to see Lexington's way back into this one.
1st and goal, a critical possession by both sides of the ball. Stanley Younger, oh my goodness, he is plowing ahead. 2nd and goal, almost to the end zone on that one.
Yeah, and I think you'd bet your house at this point that this next carry is also going to go to Younger here. He's just got that kind of physicality about him. He's going to try and probably get a good push straight up the middle here and try and punch this one in for Nashville.
2nd and goal, and they give it to Ace Ketchum that time. Kind of caught him off guard a little bit, and Nashville taking a 10-point lead. 11 coming up here, point after pending. But as we said, that's that daylight this Nashville Tempo team has been looking for all game long.
Yeah, and Ace Ketchum didn't have to do too much there. Kind of just walks in. Good run blocking there from the offensive line for sure, getting a big hole open.
Plenty of time left to play. As we said, 9 minutes left in this game. You know Lexington is going to come out firing. This game not over by a long shot, folks. In to kick now. Takeda Yuki. The extra point is good. It is an 11-point lead, the longest or the widest margin so far for lead today in this game. Well, now Lexington, as you said, they got to respond. They've had a couple of issues with, as we said, the challenge is not going their way. All you can do is put the chin strap on and move on.
Yeah, and they've done it pretty well so far this game. I mean, they've seemed to rebound pretty well from adversity so far tonight, but it might get a little hard now. You've only got the one timeout left and not too much time.
Flowers across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Do you expect that they will have to maybe abandon that run a little bit here with Deion James and maybe go to the air to try to preserve some time and push the ball down the field quicker?
Yeah, he's been running real well so far tonight, but unfortunately I think it's about time to call curtains on Deion James' role in this game here. Going to be looking for Ethan Flowers, and really, I think Lexington really needs to try and get Alexander West, CJ Parrish involved here. I mean, it's been working so far with Ethan Flowers, but really try and get a bit more diversity in targets here.
First down, 2 wide receivers lined up to the right at the bottom of your screen. One up there to the top. 2 men in the backfield. They stay on the ground with James, and that time it is completely busted. We've got an injury. We've got Victor Hobson now down the outside linebacker for Nashville, and you really hate to see that. Hopefully it's nothing serious. 2nd down now, and that will stop the clock momentarily. And again, you know, we see them go back to the run, try to find something along the outside. You got to imagine if they don't go to it on this next series, my friend, or this next play, I should say, they're going to have to go through the air on 3rd. They're lining up again in a potential run formation here. And they do. And it's stuffed. At the line of scrimmage.
Not much running there for Deion James. They try to go with the draw play there, which is an interesting choice. I mean, you're certainly assuming at this point that Lexington's going to have to start passing the ball, but good job on the Nashville front to stuff that run, and now you kind of have to pass. 3rd and 10, you got to try and get something going here.
And it's 3rd and 10. 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. That pass, a flag comes in on that one. We're going to see if they're going to get PI. And that's going to extend this drive. Lexington is going to get another opportunity at this one. It looked like they were about to be off the field for sure. Instead, they get granted that pass interference.
Yeah, and that's a scary play for Lexington there. There was a free rusher coming in on that right side against Chad Moore. I think he might have panicked a little just trying to get that one in there. Thankfully, PI call helps him out quite a bit.
On 1st down, Moore, plenty of time, steps up. He's going to run, use that open field, and slide for an 8-yard gain. Makes it a much more manageable 2nd down here.
Yeah, and that's a good play. The one thing you can't do here is turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over, I think this game is probably almost about done because the momentum will be fully on Nashville's side there. So good call by Chad Moore. Tuck that ball, get some good yards, and keep your playbook a little bit more flexible.
Lexington still digging. They give to James. James gets the 1st down, crosses the midfield stripe. And again, another 1st down. Clock moving, 7:55 and counting.
Yeah, and that's when you can kind of still keep Deion James involved in this game. If you've got short yardage situations, you got to try and keep Nashville's defense as honest as you can here. He's gotten a good load today, 23 carries, 132 yards, 5.7 averaging. He's been playing well. Unfortunately, I think the game situation at this point just doesn't really call for him to get too much more.
The handoff to James, left side, breaking tackles, will not go down, will not be denied. Another 7-yard pickup there as we come to another 2nd down and short.
Yeah, and if you can get 7 yards a carry, then you're doing really well. But I think the problem is if you get stopped by Nashville, then you really start to be in trouble because you're using up a lot of time and you're not getting much for those runs.
The handoff again to James, stuffed right up the middle that time. Just nothing there as Lewis comes up big on the tackle, and that brings up an important 3rd down.
Yeah, Nashville's been doing a pretty good job this entire game of keeping that inside relatively contained. Deion James able to break off good runs on the outside. Up the middle, he gets the occasional good run. He's been doing good at breaking contact, but not too much in terms of pure yardage.
Clock running now, 6:47 and counting. Fake the handoff, flag on the play. There's the pass, it is caught. A reception headed down towards the 10-yard line is Dot Williams, the tight end. But what is the flag?
Holding. That's very unfortunate for Lexington.
Oh, that's a killer.
Oh, wait, defensive holding. It's against Nashville.
Defensive holding indeed. So this one is going to go the opposite of what we were thinking there, or what you typically see on a play such as that goes that open and busted. But a 1st down, Lexington now, 1st and goal. A great catch, let's mention that, by Dot Williams. I believe that was the first time we've been able to call Dot's name all day. What do they do here? 1st and goal, 6:25 and counting. They go air. The pass to James, right side, stiff arm, into the end zone for a touchdown.
Nice, big power, not a run, a pass there from Deion James. Gets the ball in the backfield and just puts out a really nice stiff arm. Just manages to keep his balance there, tiptoeing on that sideline and pushes his way in. And that's big for Lexington.
It is. And take a look at the grit. He knew exactly what that touchdown meant, how important that touchdown was, Brandon.
Yeah, I think they might go for 2 here, bring this within 3.
Definitely be a good idea, I would think. I would agree on that. No, they go extra point. Okay, extra point with Ian Dagan. And the kick is good. So it remains a 4-point deficit, but Lexington closing the gap now. And like I said, this game far from over. A lot of excitement left to be had with 6:20 remaining in this 4th quarter. Remember, the winner plays Pittsburgh. The loser plays San Jose. And part of that double elimination that will take place on Monday night. The return by Hendricks across the 30 to the 35, down to the 36-yard line. Folks, we want you to stay tuned after tonight's games for the updated bracket of the first football double elimination tournament happening right here in SFLm. All 8 teams are back in action Monday night for second-round matchups. And, Brandon, you know what that means. Very little rest between tonight and Monday. They'll have to turn it around quick.
Yeah, but that's the way it's been this entire SFLm season so far. Big credit to the coaches and the players keeping their conditioning in check and really putting on a good show so far this season.
Switch thumper under center. And he rolls out. Going to be aggressive here. Going deep. The pass is caught. Talk about threading the needle that time. And a great reception by Cables McGill.
Yeah, that's a really tight window throw there from Switch Thumper. And that's pretty aggressive, looking downfield on the rollout there. I want to see that throw again. Wow. Fits that right in a window. I mean, Say Jr. was right there.
Yeah, put it only where Cables McGill could get it, and we take a look at the updated stats by Switch Thumper.
He's been having a great game, 20 of 28, no sacks. He's been doing a really good job.
And first down, Lexington needing a stop here. Man in motion. Again, that's Elliott Pope. Thumper to pass. It's intercepted. Intercepted. Coming back the other way, Lexington with the interception of a lifetime. Thumper throwing an inerrant throw. We were worried about that last one and threading the needle like he did. This time, it bites him. And that's Kennedy on the interception return.
And that's a great break on the ball there. I mean, he's about probably 5 yards away by the time Switch lets go of that ball, and he closes that distance so fast, gets his hands on that. And I think you got to question, why are you throwing the ball so much here if you're Nashville, you know? You've got the lead. You should be running it with Stanley Younger.
Draining that clock. Instead, 5:31 and Lexington in business. Man in motion. Ethan Flowers coming up to the top side of the screen there. 2 wideouts on the left side, 2 halfbacks. Moore to throw. He's got a man wide open. Alexander West to the 30, down close to the 25-yard line.
And finally, Alexander West gets involved in this game in a big way. I know he's been waiting for us to call his name all night, and he finally gets open on that boundary. Great throw by Chad Moore. The vision to see him down there, and he gets a lot of yards here. And now Lexington's in a really dangerous position. They might be looking to score another touchdown quick here.
Yeah, it was Chris Delro there who West was able to beat on the coverage, and he showed his speed right at that exact moment. He turned on the jets. Oh, wow. Here we go. 1st and 10 on about the 28-yard line of Nashville's. Lexington moving the ball. Man in motion once more. Play clock at 3. The handoff left side stop. Nothing there. They're going to give him forward progress of 2 yards. Let's get an update here on the score. Chicago now leading Bossier City 31-14. That is at the end of the third. I will repeat that. Chicago leading Bossier City 31-14. Back here, we've got a barn burner in Nashville in Music City. 31-27, Nashville leads. Lexington knocking on the door. The handoff to James up the middle again. And he is stopped. No gain that time, so that brings up a big 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's twice in a row now. James has been stopped for very little gain. 3rd and 8 coming up here. Chad Moore's been throwing the ball well so far, but I think he's going to have to do another good job here on this one, because a field goal doesn't tie the game.
They need to get to the 18-yard line to continue this drive. A field goal does not tie it. There's the play over the middle, and it is deflected. Garnes come up with the deflection and the coverage on that as Chad Moore was trying to go across the middle. I believe that was to Flowers. Nothing there, and so that is probably going to bring on a field goal attempt, and it will, by Ian Degan. They'll try to put 3 more on the board and have the defense hold if they can.
Big kick here.
Here's the snap, the hold, it's up. It is good. Degan brings them within 1.
I think he just had the leg on that one. It looked like it might fall a little bit short there. And I think at this point, you have to start worrying a little bit more about the fact that that 2-point conversion on the last Lexington touchdown wasn't taken. Because if they'd gotten it, it would have tied the game now. We would be tied at 31 now. Lexington's still down 1. They're going to have to rely on their defense to get another big stop.
Great point indeed. 31-30, Nashville leads. The kick is deep. Lexington praying that their defense can hold once more. Nashville has other plans. The return to Hendricks, it's a good one, almost out to the 35-yard line. And now you have to expect, instead of going past as we've seen, you would expect Nashville to become run heavy to try to drain some of that clock.
Yeah, switch number. I love you, man. You're a great quarterback in this league, but I expect you to be doing nothing but handing the ball off this entire drive here. You got to try and drain some clock here if you're Nashville. It's getting a little scary.
3:44 remaining. 2 men in the backfield. Five on the play clock. They go back to the air. Rolling out. Pressure coming. And
Ooh.
I believe that's going to be a pretty obvious pass interference, and that's going to be bad for Lexington there. That pass draws the PI and a new set of downs.
Yeah, you can't do that if you're the Lexington defense. You got to try and keep it clean as much as possible here. That's sloppy.
Had a little bit of desperation attached to that one, just trying to do something to keep the pass from getting there. And the refs was all over that one. You felt the nerves kind of creeping in, I feel like, when you see a defender make such an obvious PI as that.
Yeah.
1st and 10, right at midfield of technically the 49. The clock is stopped, 3:39. They hand it this time to Ace Ketchum, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, Jason Clay with another big run supporting tackle there coming in from that middle linebacker position. That's a good tackle on Ketchum, but I want to see if they're going to hand the ball off to Stanley Younger here and let him use that more physical frame to try and really bulldoze through what you have to assume are going to be pretty stacked boxes from Lexington.
To Ketchum. Ketchum! Oh, he is so close to the first down, and you have to remember Lexington only has 1 timeout, so they cannot stop the clock for very much more. Closing in on 3 minutes. They will have the 2-minute warning to work with, but it's 3rd and inches, and this is big.
Yeah, you're working with 2 clock stoppages at this point in the game, but really I think you've got to try and get a stop here. If you miss it here, then you're going to have the 2-minute warning coming up real quick.
The Stanley Younger, and
Ooh.
Younger, they're going to say forward progress, gets him the first.
Yeah, Jason Clay met him in the hole there, but Lexington doesn't have any more challenges left.
Right.
So even if they want to challenge it, they can't.
That's right. Unless it comes down from the booth, it will not be challenged. And a 1st and 10 now for Nashville. They send a man in motion. That's Leon Sandcastle. They go to the air this time. Going deep. It is caught. And that is going to be reeled in by Cables McGill. A 1st down. And that should bring us close to the 2-minute warning. And Nashville close to punching their ticket to make it to play Pittsburgh in the winner's bracket of the semifinals on Monday. We are 2 minutes away from seeing what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for spending your night with us right here with the SFLm on YouTube. We welcome you back for the final 2 minutes of what has been a wonderful football game here in the Music City. Nashville now trying to remain in control. They give it to Stanley Younger running left side. He's got all kinds of room. There's the first, the stiff arm. They bring him down finally at about the 7-yard line. A 1st and goal, and there should be the final timeout.
Yeah, Kevsey Jr. has been battling with Stanley Younger all night tonight. And again, he gets there, obviously not to stop him from getting a big game, but at least trying to take him down. And Stanley just hits him with a big stiff arm there.
And they'll take a knee, and we'll start to look forward to the games that we are going to see coming up on Monday. As we said, a quick turnaround time, it being Friday evening. Then Monday, they'll get back onto the gridiron where we will see, as we mentioned, Nashville. They will play Pittsburgh. Lexington will play San Jose. We'll talk about that in just a moment. They'll drain just as much clock out as they can right here, of course. Play clock down to 5. And there's the knee. 3rd and goal. Let's look ahead, Brandon. That matchup between Nashville and Pittsburgh.
It should be a really good game. I mean, I don't think either team here is really looking forward too much to their opponents. The game tonight, Pittsburgh 45, San Jose 38. So both teams can score in bunches. And I think if you're either team here, you got to be looking with a little bit of trepidation towards your next opponent.
Play clock at 15. They'll have to snap it at about 30 seconds or so. And there's the knee, and that will do it. Let's now look ahead to what Lexington has to face, Brandon, as they go into a San Jose team that has also put up some pretty stout numbers as well.
Yeah, San Jose was looking really good tonight. I was really impressed with Tino Sosa. You know, he's been a good running back so far for the flight so far this season, but he had a really great game tonight, a lot of yards. It was unfortunate, I think, that San Jose didn't win that game because it seemed like their offense was really controlling things. So Lexington, I think, can take a lot of heart from this performance. They managed to limit a lot of the rushing damage that Younger and Ketchum were able to do to them. So they might be looking at that and kind of projecting forward to, okay, if we can handle these guys, we might be able to handle Tino Sosa.
Lexington will travel to San Jose Monday night. Your final score here, the Nashville Tempo defeats the Lexington Miners by 1 point, 31-30, as we take a look at the final stats and get your final thoughts, Brandon, on what truly was an exciting game.
Yeah, it was a really good game, really tight. I think both teams were kind of swinging a lot with the momentum. There was a lot of big changes there, you know, challenges, penalties, turnovers. I think both quarterbacks came out and played really well tonight. Switch Thumper, you know, 3 interceptions was a bit rough for him, but he was still slinging the ball well, got a lot of distance on his throws, and was finding Kenny Hendricks in particular for a lot there. And Chad Moore really showed up well tonight, I think. He's been, you know, someone that people kind of look at with a little bit of anxiety whenever he drops back to throw deep, especially. But he showed up really well tonight, I think.
This matchup, this excitement, these football games, folks, it's far from over. Everything is going to just be a heightened sense come Monday, and we hope you can be a part of it with us. Real quick, my friend, player of the game, can you give me one?
I think it's got to go to Kenny Hendricks. I mean, he was wide open all night long, really working the coverage as well with his routes, and he really had a great connection with Switch Thumper all night long, really making sure that drives stayed alive, touchdowns were being scored. I think he really had a good impact on this game.
And that'll do it from Music City. Nashville again prevails 31-30. For Cameron Irvine in the stats and production, my name, and Brandon Walters with me. My name is Cameron Duty. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you soon.